In this video, we're going to talk about the longest confirmed sniper shot, achieved by Joint Task Force 2, an elite special operations force of the Canadian military. Who are JTF-2? Joint Task Force 2, or JTF-2, serve under the Canadian Special Operations Forces Command. JTF-2 is known to work with other Special Ops forces such as Delta Force, SEAL Team 6, and the British SAS. As a centerpiece of special operations in Canada, the JTF-2 is mostly involved in counter-terrorism operations domestic and abroad. Most of the information involving the task force is classified, and their actions are not commented on by the Canadian government. Their motto is "Deeds, not words," and they do not carry individual battle honors. Joint Task Force 2 is an extremely high-readiness, precision special operations unit. They continuously develop new tactics to stay ahead of terrorists and prevent the attacks before they even happen. They also test new technology to be adopted by the Canadian Armed Forces. JTF-2 is a Tier 1 assault unit, meaning they get direct action roles with lower-tier units supporting them. Tier 1 assaulters can be compared to their lower-tiered comrades by comparing them to athletes. Tier 1 would be Hall of Fame members, with Tier 2 being Major League and so on. Forming JTF-2. JTF-2 was created in 1993. Prior to that, the responsibility for hostage rescue and counter-terrorism in Canada was with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police Special Emergency Response Team. Try saying that 3 times fast. After the events of 9/11, the unit was committed to the International Special Operations Forces Coalition in Afghanistan. This deployment was the first time JTF-2 was used in a major combat role outside Canada. Training and recruitment. You can't just enroll and be part of such an elite unit. First, you must join the Canadian military and exceed any standard given to you, be that physical, academic, or psychological. You have to be among the best in your existing unit, and you need permission from your superior officer just to try out for JTF-2. You'll have to have at least 2 years of military service, and because there are only 1 or 2 application and selection periods per annum, you'll have between 3 to 18 months to prepare. All the required standards are openly published, so you can prepare. But what they cannot prepare you for is the type of person you are. Before they even speak to you, they will have evaluated your service records and application. With all that in mind, in the application, selection, and training phases, even if you exceed the minimum standard, the lower ring is still cut. After enduring all that and joining the task force, you still have to pass the preparation phase. New members of Joint Task Force 2 are trained to an incredibly high standard. As a result, the final phase of selection is the Special Operations Assaulter course, which lasts around 7 months. During the SOAC, the future JTF-2 members will train on basic and advanced weapons, insertion and extraction techniques, land navigation, patrolling, enduring extreme weather, and much more. The shot. The previous world record sniper shot was set by the 2nd Commando Regiment during the war in Afghanistan in April 2012 using a Barrett M82A1 from a distance of 2,815 meters. That's 3,079 yards. The current record was set in 2017 in Iraq when a sniper from JTF-2 neutralized an ISIS target at a distance of over 3,540 meters. That's 3,871 yards. Landing a shot at this distance requires not only an extensive knowledge of how your weapon handles, but a well-built rifle capable of reliably performing at that level. That's why the Macmillan TAC-50 was used. The TAC-50 is based on previous designs from the same company, with considerable improvements in power and handling. This rifle was used in 3 of the 5 most recent, longest recorded kill shots. In all 3 cases, the TAC-50 was wielded by Canadian snipers. The .50 caliber round can hypothetically travel as far as 5 miles under ideal circumstances, though landing a shot at that range would prove extraordinarily difficult in real-world operating conditions. The record-breaking shot was proven through video footage and confirmed later by Canadian Armed Forces in a brief statement as follows. The Canadian Special Operations Command can confirm that a member of Joint Task Force 2 successfully hit a target at 3,540 meters. For operational security reasons and to preserve the safety of our personnel and our coalition partners, we will not discuss precise details of when and how this incident took place. With the limited information given, it's unsurprising that 5 years later it's almost forgotten. But the longest sniper kill shot remains one of the greatest feats ever performed in military history. This is not just a record-breaking exercise. The shot was executed in a real mission and prevented the use of more direct combat and potential military and civilian casualties. The science involved. It needs to be pointed out just how difficult it is to land a shot under these circumstances. All sharpshooters must account for numerous variables. To fire a sniper rifle and hit a target thousands of yards away, let alone score a takedown, is a skill only a few possess. It requires fine-tuned physical and cognitive skills, knowledge about the physics involved, as well as the surrounding elements that can affect the bullet trajectory. The critical variables are gravity. Sure, at short distances like 100 meters, you can line up a shot, pull the trigger, and hit what you see in the crosshair without accounting for external elements. But beyond that, the bullet begins to drop due to the gravitational pull, and the pull becomes stronger as the bullet travels and loses speed. The shooter has to aim above the target in order to hit it. The farther the target, the more shot elevation you will need to be successful. Wind. As soon as the bullet exits the barrel, any airflow causes it to drift. You need to aim through and beyond the target in order to compensate for the air working against you. Snipers apply what they call windage to mitigate bullet drift. To do this, they use indicators in the field near their target, such as smoke or dust in the air, and they estimate how fast they are moving in the wind. Spin drift. When a bullet is fired, it spins towards its target, and depending on which way it spins, the bullet will lean left or right. At about 1,000 meters with no wind, a bullet with a right spin will drift about a meter to the right. If the wind is coming from the left, you have to add an additional meter per 1,000 meters of range. If the wind is coming from the right, then you have to subtract that drift per 1,000 meters of range. These three are the most important, but not the only things affecting trajectory. There's the Earth's rotation, natural elements such as temperature, humidity, altitude, and the equipment you're using. In theory, this sounds like an easy calculation exercise, but imagine putting all of the variables into account with all the other stuff, and then having to actually pull the shot off in the middle of a war zone. Having had virtually zero sleep in the past few days, wow, these factors become significantly more pronounced at greater distances. The distance at play make it particularly difficult to account for bullet drop or the phenomenon of a fired projectile being dragged down by gravity over the course of its travel. Even the slightest under or over correction through the scope could result in a missed shot. The elevation required to hit a target 3,540 meters away with a .50 caliber rifle is 137 meters. Getting an accurate reading for the wind is really difficult at these extremely long ranges. You can become good at it, out to 1,000 meters, maybe even 1,500, but when you start doubling that, then it becomes incredibly difficult to get a good reading throughout the entire path of the bullet. So, pick a spot 137 meters above the target, aim at it, calculate the wind and all the other variables, and pray to God you don't miss, because you could reveal your location and jeopardize the entire operation. JTF-2 personnel are paid the regular Canadian Armed Forces wage for their rank, plus allowances when they're deployed. Most JTF-2 members earn over $100,000 annually. Is it worth it? That's up to you. Would you like to be part of JFT-2? Do you know any more amazing records set by the military? Do you have access to top-secret information regarding the sniper who took the shot? Let us know in the comments. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, ring that bell so you don't miss any of our future uploads. Until the next time.